Hi, honey. So today we're gonna make some chicken soup. One, it's cold outside, and two, Daddy's sick. So what we're gonna do first is make the broth. We'll make that this morning, and then we'll make the soup later on. This is really all you need for it. You need a chicken, and then I'll show you how to cut up a whole chicken. Some garlic, a little bit of onion, carrots, celery, parsley. I've got a flat leaf parsley here. You could use the curly parsley too. And then I found this funny little thing, this poultry blend little herb mix. So we'll try that too. It's rosemary, sage, and thyme. That doesn't sound bad to me. So yeah, so that's the ingredients for our chicken soup. Okay, so here we go. Now, for the soup base, the stock, all you need is a sprig of garlic, small onion, one thing of celery with the leaves attached, and one carrot. So once we make all that, we're going to strain it all away, and then we're going to make our soup. And the soup requires 2 carrots, 2 celeries, small onion. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prep it all now, put my stuff for my soup away, but this way I don't have to prep things twice, okay? So for my stock, what I want to do, I just want to do like a rough chop, right? This is easy. Watch your fingers because round things roll. Just kind of bigger pieces. I don't need tiny little bite-sized pieces for the stock. Okay, so that goes there. And then kind of the same for my celery. The smaller the pieces, the more surface area, the more flavor. And the celery leaves provide a lot of flavor. So we're going to put that there. And I'm going to do, since this is all onion I have, we're going to say that's a small onion. And that's about the size of a small onion. Kind of the same. Remembering that this all gets filtered out. So then it doesn't, I don't think the recipe calls for garlic. I'm going to leave the garlic in there though, because it's chicken soup and garlic has good medicinal properties. So way to smash a piece of garlic. I'm just going to do crushed garlic as you just take the end off, take the flat blade of your knife. I think we've done this before. Smash it, and then take all the paper off. I'm going to give it another little smash. And that's it like that. And then we get our parsley. Stick that in there. And then for the regular soup, you want to cut these into more bite-sized pieces, right? So lay them on the flat side. That's a little bit better, okay? Put that in there. I love chicken soup. This is probably, Eddie Crocker was my first recipe ever I had for chicken soup, and it was so good. With this base, you can make a lot of things. You can just have your normal broth. You can make chicken and rice soup. You can make chicken noodle soup. I don't know, maybe chicken and dumplings, anything that you would need this for. And it's so easy. I'm gonna let it the soup cook for a while on the stovetop. You could do it in your crock pot, but it's nice to have the whole house smelling like yummy chicken soup. I love making this when someone's got a cold. It's made with love. Feels good on a sore throat. Help open up your sinuses. This is a yummy soup. Okay, it's almost done. Don't necessarily have to in there. You're going to throw the dogs a carrot every once in a while. Here you go. Because they love their carrots. Split this down the middle as much as you can. Kind of hard sometimes. These are small celery stalks, but how do you know when something's organic? It's smaller. Daddy's not necessarily a fan of celery, but if things are small enough, he'll eat it. And I'll eat the heck out of this soup. I love this soup. Okay, so we have our our celery and our carrots. Yes, I burned the, oops, come here. Cutting board, oh well. Crap happens sometimes. Okay, so I'm gonna go thin slice, thin slice. Normally I'd put more onion in here, but we didn't have it. I thought we did, but we don't. Watching your fingers at all times. I should have some Christmas music on. Hopefully we'll have some of this by the time you get home. Get home on Thursday. It's Monday. Okay. Alright. I'm going to think about adding garlic to that. I'm not quite sure. Okay. Here's your whole chicken. Now, when I was growing up, my mom always used to cut chickens. I don't even know if they came in pieces yet, but she always broke down a chicken. Her grandparents had a farm, so I think she kind of learned how to do it that way, and I learned from watching her. I probably don't do it the best, but I'll show you how to do it. Now, when you get a whole chicken, you have this little packet of stuff inside, and I think it includes like the neck, liver, gizzards. I was just gonna put that aside. Okay. So you see the legs, right? This is the breastbone. You can it's gonna split right there. The wings, and there's all joints, and what we're gonna do is cut along the joints, okay? So this is the leg and the thigh right there. All right, so let's see, where should we start? Let's start with the leg. Make sure your knife is sharp. I'm gonna start cutting through there. I'm just cutting through the skin so I can kind of get down to the joint and see it a little bit. Oh, see it a little bit better. Okay, if you can see in there like that. I'm kind of down, there's a joint here that runs there. That's just a big old piece of fat. Let me cut that off. They say to remove the extra fat. So you can kind of see it, right? Turn it over and start coming this way. So you cut through the skin first. And I can kind of break it right there at that, or not break it, but it comes across at that little thigh joint right there. So I'm trying to figure out a good spot to kind of cut through. The back is kind of tricky sometimes. I cut through there. There. And there we go. That's a chicken leg and the thigh. I'm gonna set that in a bowl. I'm gonna go on the other side, do the same thing. It'd be a fun day to butcher. I wonder if they do this with like big animals too, instead of just poultry. Down there to that. Don't break it yet. There. There's that little bone. I'm gonna go right there. There we go. There's the next one. Leg, thigh. Go aside. Now I'm going to do the wings. Ugh, come here, wings. So I can see it right through that skin. I'm going to start just gently. There's the bone right there. You can cut through bone. Cut through that joint. Come on. I swear you can cut through bone. Okay, let me try a different tact. Let me see, go here. Cut this way. This way. You should have broken it. There. Make sure you get your fingers out of the way, babe. There you go. That's a chicken wing. Here, you can kind of see it through the skin. My fingers are on the other side, so be careful. There we go. That was easier. Wait. Now, oh, there's some extra fat and skin. Fat and skin add flavor. All right, fat is good. Okay, now I've got my back and then my breasts. So let's try, let me see what we can do. Let's go like this. Ooh. I don't really know. We're gonna put the back in there too because the bone is gonna leach out flavor. It's gonna be so yummy. Here's the neck. Let me see how I want to do this. Usually the back comes down like that, so that's how we're going to try to do it. I can kind of see some right there. Okay, let's almost do that. Ooh, it's hard. When the chef be watching this and going, oh, she's doing it all wrong. And I think your Betty Crocker book probably tells you how to do it. But I don't know. Try to get that out. Let me see right there. Struggle with it too much. Oh, it's a big bone right there. What is over on this side? My mom made it so easy. Rip it away. There we go. Okay. Now in here sometimes you're gonna, like, you have got good meat in here, but sometimes you're gonna see this extra fat. They tell you to take that fat away. You're gonna find, oh, I wonder if that's like a little kidney or something. I don't even know. But the bones and all that fat add flavor, so we're gonna leave it. Now the breast, right, you get two breasts, and kind of same, we're gonna split it right down the middle. And you've got sternum you gotta cut through, right? Even birds have them. All right, there we go. We got two breasts, a little extra meat, get rid of that. A leg and a thigh. Leg and a thigh. A wing, and a backbone. There we go. I'll probably put in the neck as well. Let's just open that up and take a look at that too and see what's in there. Let's see. Here's in this funky little bag. Now, if I just had a dog, okay, so we've got, I think that's a gizzard. It's kind of hard. People like eating those. I don't understand it. And we have this neck. Oh, really no livers or anything, huh? I'm going to put the neck in there too because that's very flavorful. You can give this to a dog as long as it's raw. Once you start cooking it, the bone becomes brittle, and that's what can hurt them. But this is good for dogs to eat as well. Okay, so we have our Dutch oven. It's basically, this thing's an enameled cast iron skillet. I love making soup in there. The cast iron gets really hot. It holds its heat very well. And it's something too, when you're cooking with it, that you can put, like if you're cooking on the stovetop, you can eventually stick it into the oven as well and it won't melt anything. The only thing you need to be careful with that is make sure that the lid doesn't have a plastic handle. This one does not. So, I put about 6 cups of water, cold water in there. And now what I'm going to do is put the chicken in here. The recipe originally called for about like 4.5 cups of water. However, this is a bigger piece, it's a bigger bird than what I expected. There goes the neck. There goes that. Here's another little piece of stuff. So there's that. And then I'm going to put my veg all in there like that. And I'd forgotten that I did this little blend. This little yummy, tasty poultry blend. So we're going to put that in there too. Like pretty much all of it. There's thyme, rosemary, sage. It'll be delicious. So now I'm going to cover this up. Ta-da. I'm going to put it to high heat so it starts to boil. Once it starts boiling, we'll come back and look at it because it's going to get some foam on the top that we need to skim off, and that's just like fat stuff. Okay? And we're going to cook this. It says to cook it for like 45 minutes or until all the chicken is cooked through. We can cook it as long as we want. I might leave it on for most of the day. But we'll see. We'll see where we're at, and I'll taste it. Oh, that's what we forgot. Salt and pepper. Generous salt. Yep, my hand's dirty from that chicken. Don't do that. There we go. Lay it back on. Let it boil, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're boiling. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to a lower heat, and then we're going to skim the scum. So I've got a little receptacle to put it in. I've got this. And I can kind of see, it might be hard for you to see, but there's like some foamy looking stuff on the edge. Can you see that at all? So I'm going to get rid of that. That's the scum they're talking about. It's like this white foam. I'm going to try just to get as much as that as I can and not too much of the broth. I might have to move some things around. And I think what it is like that. It's not too bad. I don't know. It doesn't look that bad on this chicken. Maybe it's just an organic chicken. Beware of that, by the way. Good Lord, man. I went into Whole Foods last night to get this. I went up to the counter and I scanned my little barcode, and the guy said, "Hey, you saved $8 on the chicken." I'm like, wow, oh, okay. And I looked to see how much it originally was, and it was like $18. It's an expensive damn chicken. Well, I'm not seeing a lot of foam on here. So, not a lot of scum. It's pretty damn clean chicken and veg. Everything's organic in here, of course. You might not be able to afford that. I can. There's a little bit of scum right there. You see that big old chunk of stuff in there? I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, so my stuff's on low. So now what I can do, whoa. I'm gonna put this back on. And so the recipe says, so I skim the foam, I'm gonna reduce my heat to low, cover and simmer for about 45 minutes until the juice of the chicken is no longer pink. So I'm gonna do that. It's on low. I'm gonna let it simmer. Set a timer for 45 minutes. Come back and check on it. In the meantime, I'm gonna go pick up all Daddy's snot rags and get my Clorox wipes out and wipe everything down. Yeah, because he's about on day 3 of the cold, so it's pretty much over. But I don't want any germs lingering. See you in a little bit. Okay, so the recipe said to cook it for like 45 minutes. It's been at least 45 minutes it's been cooking down on low. So I'm going to take this off. And it also said to check the largest piece, which I believe is probably going to be a breast, to see if the juices run clear. So here's a breast right here. I'm going to dig it out and take a look at it. It might be a little, oh no, that's a thigh. Thigh might be good. Let's see, what's this? Ooh, there's a big breast. It's as big as mine. It's about the same shape too. Okay, so I'm gonna put this over here. Let's see, let's get right there. And then I get my camera going. Listen to some Christmas music. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna cut into that. Let's see what that looks like. Move some of that skin away. I don't think it's... Huh? Juices look clear in there. Can you see that? It's not quite falling off the bone. I think I'm gonna do my volunteering. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back in the pot and let it cook longer. Oh, it looks so good though, doesn't it? See all that nice fat on there? That's what it gives it its flavor. So yummy. Okay, so let me see. Do this two-handed here. Nice. Alright, so we'll put the lid back on. I'm gonna let it simmer for a little bit longer and then we'll come back to it. Alright, bye. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, this has been cooking all day. I'm gonna take all the chicken off and then I'm gonna strain my broth. Don't worry about the spices if they come out. The chicken, the broth looks delish. Let it all kind of drain. There's not a whole... Okay, so what I've done, I've removed the chicken. I have taken all the bone and fat and skin off the chicken and kind of just shredded it with my fingers down in little bite-sized pieces. Now what we're going to do is strain the broth. So I've got a pot down there where my fluid is going to go. I've got a little strainer, but I've got this stuff called cheesecloth that goes in here that's really going to strain it very finely for me. So I just kind of sit it on there. You always want to do it over a sink. And when you strain kind of away from you. I'm going to go kind of slowly. This is going to fill up. And all the carrots and herbs and everything are going to be the last to go. So good. So that, you can see all that nice oil on there. Fat blobs. Okay, so now to make our soup, we have our broth. It's fantastic. So we take that broth, and you want it to measure like 5 cups. So if you don't have 5 cups worth of broth, add a little bit of water. I had a little extra broth I had made a couple weeks ago that I just added to it. So that's about 5 cups. And now all I'm going to do is the carrots and the celery and onion that we did earlier, remember when we prepped our stuff, I'm going to put that back in. And let me see, where is it? Oh no. Well, I was going to add some more garlic, but I think I'm out. So let me see. I'm out of garlic. Bummer. This will have to do for now. I am going to heat this on high to boiling. And then after we're done with that, I'm going to let that simmer until the veg are tender. And then I'm going to add my chicken back in. And we'll call it a day. We're going to keep that in there for about 10 minutes or so with the chicken in there to make it heat through. And then our soup will be finished. Okay, so my soup is boiling. Fun fact, if you put this here like that, it won't boil over. I don't know if it touches the wood or whatever, but so I am going to turn it down a little bit, and then I'm going to add my chicken. Now, this made a ton of chicken, so I'm going to put in enough to make it a good chicken soup, but I don't want it like a stew. So let's see how this does. I still want it pretty soupy. But if you have extra chicken, right, there's a lot of things you can do with it. I'm having a hard time seeing that. Put in one more big chunk. So I feel like that's pretty chickeny. I still have a lot left. Can you see it? A lot left. So I think with this I can make like some, I don't know, chicken salad or do whatever. So this I'm going to keep on low. It's going to heat through the chicken, and this soup is ready in 10 minutes. All right? I hope you enjoy. I love you. As a side note, I did end up putting about 3 more cloves of garlic. I chopped them up and put them in there. This is almost done. It's got like 5 minutes left. See, it's kind of simmering. So yummy. When you're done, you can serve it like this and throw a little parsley on top if you want. If you don't have time to make this, I got this. Oh, can you see it? Let me go back. I got this from Whole Foods. Fantastic! So good. Of course, not as good as this, because this is made with love. Bye.